that would make it like almost in a way credible, right? It's like, oh, it kind of sounds similar to like what he really was seeing or saying or writing, you know?
Just minus the swastika aliens.
Yeah, because before he went to Antarctica, he and another pilot tried to reach the North Pole, and there's controversy there. He was in a kind of a race with another pilot, and the other pilot said he got there first. Admiral Byrd said he got there first, and some people think that Admiral Byrd actually turned back before he actually got there because he was having aircraft problems.
He's like, you know what? I saw the aliens in the South Pole, so I don't even care.
Yeah.
He's like, the aliens in the North was Santa.
So another thing was, it has been shown that some of the text about meeting the master was plagiarized from a 1937 film called Lost Horizon.
What would that be? Did you watch Lost Horizon?
No, I did not.
So this is all hearsay.
It is.
Interesting.
But, you know, I mean...
I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah. Do it. What is a fact is that the new Schwabenland did go to Antarctica. I guess it was just the Schwabenland, but they called this area New Schwabenland. The ship was the Schwabenland that the Germans sent in 1938, but its true mission was to find a place for whaling so that pre-war Germany would have oil to substitute for margarine in the coming war. So those who have been in charge of providing information to us has shot down a couple theories. What do you think of that? Do you think they could have been going there for margarine?
I mean, I don't see why you can't kill two birds with one stone. If you need margarine and you're also taking on alien races, can't you just do both?
Pretty much, yeah. But it also shows, I mean, on a more historical note, it shows you how long Hitler had been planning
to get some margarine.
His war.
Oh.
Because he's, you know, before the war starting, he's already out there getting a substitute because he knows he's going to be sanctioned and stuff.
That's kind of a smart move, I guess.
So, the German base has never been found at the South Pole, but some German artifacts were found in the Arctic after the war, because they actually had an Arctic base that nobody knew about till later on. We know that the U.S. did lie about the real purpose behind the mission, and we also know that Admiral Byrd never spoke about it again. Years later, when the Soviet Union fell, documents were released by the Russian government about Operation Highjump. It was written in 1947 saying that the United States went there to find the rumored Nazi bases. The reports of UFOs attacking ships came from this Soviet report, but they said they were not attacking the Navy. They just wanted them to turn away from the area. But Admiral Byrd did go missing for 3 hours, and not long after this all happened in Antarctica, you get the legendary UFO crash at Roswell.
I do have a question. Wasn't there something else regarding like some kind of war in Antarctica? Was that all part of Highjump, or was that?
I think it was.
Because I remember hearing like different stories that I don't even think were connected to like Hollow Earth or anything, but like an actual war between UFOs and either America or the Russians were involved at some point. Like I've heard different like stories about this ship, but an actual war breaking out in this area.
Yeah,
around the same time.
I thought it was fascinating that some of the information was released by Russia.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's probably where the UFO stuff is. We get all that information from Russia, not the U.S.
Yeah, but see, that also kind of makes you a little leery of it then. You're like, okay, so are there UFOs, or have we just all been tricked into some weird shit, you know? That's the sad thing about being a believer, and I guess even a skeptic to some degree in this type of specific genre, is that there's, no matter how hard you believe in something or how much hard evidence there is in something, there is always the chance that someone just tricked you with some shit. It's like, God, there's been certain things that I've changed my mind on just because we talk about it to an extent. I'm like, damn, you don't want to be the person who's like, I guess I could see that side too. But that is also, at the end of the day, you're stubborn if you just ignore everything else, right?
Well, we have that one story from the U.S. government, a guy that had said he saw UFOs at one of the bases, and he basically ruined that guy's life. He basically acted like a friend to get the information, and then he made the guy seem crazy, and the guy did end up going crazy.
Wow.
And it was all a setup to throw off.
It's all misinformation and disinformation.
I mean, like, so the whole thing of you're talking about, they said Highjump was, he never talked about it again. Like, they could very well be, like, if you look up, I just looked up a little bit of it, like, on the internet, and it's very, like, basic what they say. It's like, well, we're training, we're trying to get people close to, you know, good to used to frigid conditions. And I'm like, but you can go anywhere else and like do that. Yeah. You don't have to go like all the way down there. Yeah. So there's certainly some reason why they went down there, and they don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't think it was just as, I think they were checking the German thing out. Yeah. I think they were.
But you said there's no base 211, but then you did say there was like an actual Arctic base there somewhere? Like,
there's an Arctic base.
Okay.
So on the, you know, the northern.
In the northern, okay.
Yeah. Because they had a listening base. No.
am I mixing those up? Arctic and Arctic?
Arctic and
It's
Antarctica.
It's hard to say.
Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah. It's hard to say the sea in Arctic every time.
Arctic.
I get a little bit more used to it because I used to work up in the Arctic Circle.
Right, yeah.
So it's a little bit easier to
Like, these are my people.
yeah.
I get used to it easier by just dropping a C and believing it doesn't exist.
Right.
I'm like, Arctic.
It's all Arctic.
It's Arctic.
Right. It's the top Arctic and the bottom Arctic. I don't know.
It's your tick. It's my tick. It's our tick. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was something going on down there.
Hmm.
And then later on we have that treaty to where you really can't go to Antarctica unless you're escorted.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that works in Antarctica part of the year. And they're still really secretive about what they do. Like, I'd ask if she wanted to come on the show, but she can't really talk about. And all she's basically taking care of the camp for the scientist.
Yeah.
So they are still secretive up there.
Yeah. But see, isn't that
Or down there, I should say.
That's suspicious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
right? Like, you're not going to make clear anyone's thoughts on anything by being like, well, what's really going down there? Don't you worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's the Hollow Earth then, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. No, it's just weird, man. Like, you're not gonna, and I guess we've talked about disinformation agents and stuff like that all the time. And so it's like, who can trust anything the government says at that point? Like, of course you're gonna be leery. If you don't trust the government already and you hear a story like this, you're like, oh, that totally checks out.
Right. And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and even if we ignore some of the debunking stuff, I mean, he was missing for 3 hours.
Right.
There.
So what was happening in those 3
Right.
hours?
Yeah. Probably nothing in my opinion.
Part of that diary sounds like it's true though, because it says he found like Mount Sidley, which is like the volcano down there. And there's that bit of the diary that in the very beginning it talks about he's seeing like a mountain. So that, you know, there's like some truth
correlation,
to it, you know.
could.
But then why would they have swastikas on their things? I don't understand that. Like, what is the significance of that?
But we also have to understand that this was apparently a peaceful race, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. Swastikas originally weren't Nazi. It wasn't like some white power thing. It was like, it's from like Hindu or like Buddha or something like that.
From
Buddhism.
like around India.
Yeah.
And it's ancient. And I think it's backwards.
Yeah. It's like a symbol of peace though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
like
if you're flying and you see something like that though, you could just be getting it back, oh, that's a swastika.
Yeah. I think there's a temple in Los Angeles that has a swastika on it because it's a Hindu or something along those lines temple.
There's probably a lot of garages and basements in Los Angeles that have swastikas on them too.
But not just Los Angeles. I mean, Little America right now.
Little America probably too.
Oh, yeah.
Let's bring it back to the episode.
Yeah.
Do they go into detail about Little America?
I think Little America, I don't think they went into detail about it, but I have seen a documentary of when they went back years later. It was still there. Some of the same craft. They were just all buried in ice because they left a lot of equipment there.
Can we talk about the secrecy of Antarctica? Like, number one, what are they hiding there? Or what kind of research are they doing that they have to be top secret? If there's a treaty, an international treaty, then what's with the secrecy? Everyone that is there knows what's going on there. So why can't us regular peons in the world know what's going on there? You know what I mean?
I know there's a lot of climate science being studied. There's a lot of ancient climate science.
Okay, those are the same thing.
Yeah, but they want to compare ancient climate to now, and you can do that with that much ice.
Because they could be looking at, like, someone said, like, this is one of the points that the Earth has been the coldest, right? Because at one point, if you don't believe in creation, right, and you believe in like evolution or just like the Earth being really, really old, it was really hot for a long time. Then it got really cold, right? The Ice Age, and that's where the polar caps come from.
Yeah,
and then so they could be looking at, you know, okay, it was really cold. Here's this ice that's 10,000 years old or whatever. And then also what's happening to it now if if the ice caps are melting or whatever.
Yeah.
So that could be it. But that still doesn't, that to me is like, fine, great. Go do research. Like, that's fine. Why can't we go down there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, not that I want to go to Antarctica. It's not like I want to go vacation down there or anything.
If I was allowed to, the fact that I'm not allowed to means I want to go check it out.
You actually are allowed to go down there.
To what, see 50 square feet of like a gate they built? And like, hey,
you can go see penguins and stuff like that, but there's like a cruise ship that'll go down there.
Okay.
So you can go down there. You just can't.
Do you think you can see all the top secret stuff from the deck of your cruise ship?
Probably not.
That's the downside.
If there is actual top secret stuff.
There is, though. Like, that's undisputed. Something is going on down there that we don't know about. Are they looking at a hole in the earth? Are they aware of an entrance to some inner Earth society that is filled with aliens that hate nukes?
Maybe it's all about, maybe they found a resource down there for our cell phones.
Yeah.
And they're protecting it.
You think Elon Musk is down there